After the Meghan Markle thing, you're gonna be fucking England.
Yo, guys, we've been closed for like an hour here. Are you guys almost done, or?
Dude, just one more game. One
more each, though. One more each, yeah.
Well, I mean, I gotta get my high score.
He's gotten way more turns than me.
Alright, that's it, and then you guys gotta go. Hey, I'm Luke.
I'm Cheyenne.
And this is Bad Dog.
How'd you guys start this little project? You guys, not even little project. How you guys start this business that you guys got going on?
Kind of started out of just a hobby and like an accident, really.
Yeah.
That's how it all
starts.
Just
pretty much.
Honestly, just a very impulsive decision. Not our love for vintage, but just actually opening the store. Because I remember sitting on my living room floor about to go to class. I went to Ottawa. And then I texted Luke and I said, do you want to start a business? And because I just didn't want to go to class. So I was like, do you want to open a coffee shop?
I need a reason to drop out of school.
Yeah, so I was like, why not? And then we were going to actually do a coffee shop. And it was supposed to be Bad Dog Coffee Company.
Okay.
But then we had already been selling vintage on the side, like through Instagram.
Yeah.
So after a while, we were like, why are we going to open a coffee shop, which we know nothing about, when we've been doing this and we love vintage? So that's kind of just what made sense for us.
And it was just something that was like, we found was really missing in the city, and that was kind of part of our inspiration behind like just getting into vintage and like the thrifting in general. Is this was like a style we had gotten so into, but there was nowhere we could really go in Ottawa and find this unless you're like really hunting. So we started doing the hunting, and we'd find stuff we wanted, but we were finding stuff in like other sizes and just like styles that weren't ours, and we're like, yeah, we should start grabbing all this extra stuff and just like sell it to our friends that are looking for this, or sell it to just other people that are looking for this. And then that's just kind of how the Instagram started. We would just like go out, find stuff, post a picture up of it.
You don't identify Bad Dog as a thrift store. You kind of want to stay away from thrifting.
That word, like,
anyone
calls us that, cringes it.
What is the definition of thrift? Like, why is it not what you guys
I think thrift stores, which I love, so I'm not hating on thrift stores. I love them, but they're typically places that take clothing donations. They get them for free. Some are for profit, some are charity, but either way they're getting clothing donations, so they're selling them at very low pricing. And they're not curating anything.
They're not
cleaning or repairing. It's just they get stuff, put it out, doesn't cost them anything. They hang it up, and that's why their prices are
So
lower.
what is the kind of end goal or vision with Bad Dog in the Ottawa scene? Like, you're trying to like step away from that, trying to like be your own thing.
We're stepping away from the thrift as much as possible, because like with the vintage term, we're more attached to like a certain era and like a style, you know. So like for us, it's like the vintage streetwear. So like we mainly focus around like 90s street style, and then anything that flows with that. So some 80s that goes with that style, and then some 2000s stuff that flows with that.
I think also just showing people that within used clothing, there are so many different categories, and there really is something for everybody. Like vintage, that's not something that everybody's looking for. That's not everybody's style. But then there are higher end consignment boutiques if you're looking for designer or girly clothing, like modern, even like Plato's Closet. Yeah, like there's so much. There are different categories within the used clothing kind of umbrella. So we just want to show people that not everything that's used is thrifting.
Yeah, well, and a lot of the stuff you'd even have here, you'd see on the racks at like an Urban Outfitters kind of store. Even that sweater over there, I saw that and I was like, that looks new, like brand new. So I get confused when people complain about like vintage shopping being a little more expensive, because you're going to pay like still twice as much for the exact same thing. You could buy new, or you could be environmental and buy used.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's the same price.
That's the biggest part, is like the sustainability. And the other great thing about this clothing that we like to tell people is like it's considered circular fashion. So what you pay, it's not going to be worth any less. So we try to price as fairly as possible, where someone can wear the items for 2 weeks, a month, a year, it doesn't matter, but the value is not going to go down on it unless you like cut it in half or something. But most of the time wearing it is going to add value, really, because the more faded it gets, or the more unique little like bleach spots it gets, the more
that's how they literally make clothes now.
And
exactly.
Vintage is often much better quality. It's lasted so long. A lot of it is rare. It has character, stories behind it. Places like Urban Outfitters produce things where they're underpaying their garment workers. They're buying things for pennies, and then they're putting a t-shirt out for $80, and people don't question that.
Yeah.
When they should question why it's so expensive and all the behind the scenes of that. Like when you're buying a vintage t-shirt, you're actually paying for quality.
Yeah.
So
I saw on your Instagram story you had some beef.
Oh yeah, I saw that online.
With Urban Outfitters?
Yeah,
I didn't write that, but like
you shared it.
Yeah, so they're trying to get into
dude.
vintage now, like actual vintage.
Oh, they're like trying to actually reuse.
Yeah.
But they're not knowledgeable. So one of the things that we really
Simon's
pride
does that too a
ourselves,
little
yeah,
bit.
big time.
They're not.
So one of our things that we really pride ourselves in is knowing about this stuff. If anyone has a question about anything on the racks, we want to be able to talk to them about that. And if we don't know about it, we want to learn because that's important to us. And with them, like what you shared was they labeled it as a 90s Nike shirt, but it was like a 2000s Nike shirt. Like it's the same t-shirt we sell for about $30 to $40. They had it on their website for $105 US.
Calling it 90s.
Calling it 90s, so it's like misadvertising as well.
Era right.
Yeah.
Like at least
Damn, do your research.
Wow.
And it's like
it's starting to gentrify the community as well, we find, because now they're trying to make vintage this unaccessible, very expensive thing and try to push people like us out of it, the ones that are actually caring about this.
And I would give businesses like that credit if they actually thought this is a good change to make, this is sustainable, and this is helpful, and then they actually took steps to make, like, put real vintage in their stores, but just do it the right way.
Yeah.
Like,
just educate
don't
yourself,
lie to your customers
right?
and say they're getting a 90s item when they're not. And then pricing it at $105 US, it's not worth anywhere near that. Not even a quarter of that.
Yeah,
or maybe a quarter.
And they're not getting their stuff sustainably at all, because someone posted saying they got one of the items on they'd sold something to Urban Outfitters and they sold it on eBay. So they're getting all their items in single item like packaging through the mail.
Yeah.
So it's flying and it's in
They're
plastic
just on eBay
packaging.
hunting.
Yeah.
That's
Have
kind
you
of
guys thought about
Urban
kind
Outfitters
of,
is canceled.
yeah.
Have you guys thought about like kind of expanding, not just selling clothes and showcasing clothes, but kind of going more into that and kind of like acknowledging that and explaining to people like, hey, listen, what we're doing is actually properly sustainable. We have knowledge compared to these guys. Like, are you trying to like spread that knowledge?
You guys should do like Insta stories and stuff.
We're never big for like putting our faces on like social media. I mean, like I barely even like post on Instagram in general, like myself. But
we try to talk about it. We don't want to make it seem like we're greenwashing. Like we are just saying sustainable, environmental. Yeah. We don't really care, but we do want to try to educate people, and even ourselves. Like we still have a lot to learn about that.
Alrighty, so these guys picked out some clothes for us. They're trying to showcase here. A little hard rock theme, I see.
Yeah, definitely I went with the hard rock theme. More connected to like this one, you know, because this is like a pretty special one to us right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that one.
I like the colors on this.
It's dope. It's clean. I love it.
So what's the story behind this?
Okay, so that's actually one of our reworks that we've done. And we got that one in just cropped, like a scissor crop right under where it says Montreal.
Right
yeah, right
like
there.
Horribly scissor cropped. Like
Badly
there was like strings
uneven.
hanging off.
And
it was destroyed.
It was horrible.
It was so bad.
So I just added the pink and then the white at the bottom because that's kind of our whole thing with the reworks is trying to take something damaged and making it wearable again. So that's kind of like a new style for us, like taking a poorly cropped item and making it new again, making it into an entire sweatshirt. So
rather than an item like that ending up in the landfill. Yeah. That's typically what happens with stuff like that, because even if you donate that to a thrift store, they can't even sell that, you know?
Especially
it's like damaged clothing.
That one, because the hard rock stuff is actually really hard to find, like true vintage. Yeah. Sweatshirts especially, like that's one of my favorite things at the store, and we can never find them. So when we saw somebody did that to that one, I was like, oh, I need to fix it. I need to do something.
Well, is that how you look at clothes now? You're just like, I need to rework
like,
something we can do with it.
It's very clean though. Like you can't even, when you showed it to me, I was like, I couldn't even tell that was reworked.
Yeah.
It's sick though, because I feel like it's different. Like it would have probably just been on white, right? Like you had a little bit of your own flair in there.
And a lot of the time when we do anything like that, like the custom, like one of one kind of stuff, it goes really quick. So with this one, this is kind of like a preview of this one because it's not even like available or anything yet. But what we plan on doing with this one is we want to kind of give everyone a fair chance to get this. So we're going to run like a 1 week long raffle that's going to be announced on our page. And for a $5 entry, we want to give as many people a chance as possible to own that item.
I feel like we're missing something.
Are we?
Yeah, you're missing his outfit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! You exist! Okay, you go.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind
I thought we were talking
this?
about both of them.
The t-shirt.
So we got the Hard Rock t-shirt, just kind of goes, have you guys like matching with the Hard Rock fits. And then the jacket is just like a staple early 90s beautiful Nike piece. Show the back of that one too, with a nice big Nike back hit. And I'm someone who really loves like layering. Like I just like kind of having color combos that match, like doing the whole kind of outfit matching. So I was kind of like, I really like putting together kind of like a t-shirt with a jacket combo or like a sweater and hat combo. Like I like putting together combos like that. Right. So I just thought that was like a very nice combo.
And I feel like that's the kind of style of jacket, the color blocking and crazy colors that you see all these companies trying to bring back, and they'll call them like retro 90s jackets, but like that's just so cool. I love that.
And you'll obviously feel the quality difference with that, just with like the soft lining to it, the heavy weight to it. It's
I like
for
that,
a windbreaker,
that inside
amazing quality.
No, it is really soft.
Just that quality that you can't get anymore, and that's something that the quality of vintage is like, along with the sustainability, the quality is like one of our like biggest passions with vintage.
Oh no! Just a Barhaven shirt? Sad. Look at that. Look at our boy.
I like the tag hanging out the back of your shirt, Racco.
I feel like I could go really fast in this jacket.
And if we feel
improve
more
my speed.
aerodynamic.
Yeah, I already feel aerodynamic.
That's what it's all about. It's like the culture with this stuff, I find anytime you go out, it's like you see someone, then it like sparks a conversation. Like I've been wearing a band shirt and someone's like, dude, I was at that show, and then I've ended up in like a whole like crazy conversation with them.
Vintage is so cool because so many pieces are actual conversation starters.
Yeah.
It's like there's stories behind everything, like I've said before. So like sometimes I look at clothing in my closet that I bought at H&M or something, and I'm like, this is like the least exciting thing in my closet, to be honest. Like, it's just basic
makes me
stuff,
sad.
But like vintage, it's cool. There's a lot to talk about with it.
Everything's special to someone for a reason. Like I find one of the biggest things in vintage is the nostalgia of it. Everyone can find that like nostalgia, like you find that t-shirt and it brings you back to like that time, like recently it's been like all the Space Jam stuff's been going crazy because I think everyone's just like think about Space Jam when they were kids, and it's like stuff like that. Just when you have the nostalgia connected to it,
it makes it way
better.
That's really what connects everyone to it, I think.
Vintage clothing's cool beans. Urban Outfitters, H&M suck.
Vintage shopping is cool.
I didn't say it.
Where did these pieces come from? What are these from?
Everywhere.
What's it? You don't know specifically.
Everywhere. This one, that jacket specifically came from a friend of ours that's in Toronto. The Hard Rock was obviously just like, we found it just completely messed up like that. That t-shirt got brought into us by a customer who wanted to trade it in. So everything kind of has different ways.
How often do you guys get trades?
A lot.
Oh, quite a lot,
Which is cool.
It's cool because we really like the idea that people can kind of rotate their closets with us. Like you can buy something from us like a couple months ago, come in now, and you can kind of trade it in and get some new stuff with it. You don't have to spend any new money.
Did you guys have like an Ottawa Mission specifically, or no?
Yeah, I think the Ottawa Mission is really just giving people access to the stuff that we were never able to have access to, which was this stuff. We just wanted to have a spot in the city that you could get this, so we wanted to just create that for ourselves and like for other people,
Exactly.
We wanted to find a place like this, couldn't find it, so just made ourselves instead.
Yeah.
Our goal is just to kind of have as many people in Ottawa being like still wearing the cool clothing that they like, but while being sustainable about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And almost not even realizing that you're being sustainable about it. It's just naturally
thinking you're
come
cool,
in and grab some stuff.
but really you're being sustainable.
Exactly.
It's kinda
Which
like
is cool.
If you want people to be, I was saying, if you want people to be environmentally friendly, it can't be the main selling point. It's got to be like a sub-selling point. Like Tesla's thing is like they're electric cars, but like the main sell is like it can drive itself kind of thing.
And you have a big touchscreen, you can play Mario.
You literally don't have to do anything.
It's like, well, I don't even care electric. Like, I want that, dude.
Playing Mario Kart while driving. That's awesome.
That's true though.
It's very true. You don't want to like put too much focus on the environmentability.
It comes across, I feel like, as inauthentic as well.
Yeah.
If that's
It
going to be your main
forced.
selling point.
Yeah.
Like, what are you hiding?
At the end of the day, we'll admit like we're not perfect with stuff too. Just before we started rolling, we were talking about like one of the unsustainable things that we have is like for our tags, we use like the little plastic tags. because honestly, like we wanted to do the string, like the yarn, but tying those, like we'd be doing that all day.
Yeah.
So
you get yarn burn.
Okay, so I'm gonna make you try this on.
And I'm gonna make you try this on. Girl small should fit, yeah.
Am I going for confused frat boy here?
My first day at work.
The tire.
No.
like a frat boy in initiation.
You look so stupid. I'm dying. Like, yeah, I feel like I borderline, like I have the potential to look cool, but I also look like the CEO of Dads Against Drunk Driving. Like, I feel like I look like just very...
I feel like you look like a dad who drunk drives.
Yeah, also that.
The cropped shirt, that would have came in, a lot of our like crop stuff, it's normally because they have like a flaw or something.
So that one we got a while ago, and I think there was like a hole or a stain at the bottom that we couldn't get out, so that's why I just cropped that one.
It's like you like sew it in even. It's not like what I do. Mine looks like a sharp bit added after I cut it, yeah.
Some of them that we get come in looking like that, and then we kind of bring them back to life, give them a new life.
Yeah.
How many guys you get coming in here buying crop tops?
Oh, the amount of dudes that make the joke, like, oh, bro, this would look good on you. Like, every day we get that.
This is such a classic joke for the
dude, we're just, like, sitting back here, like, cringing at each other. Like, sorry to any customers that are watching this that have said that joke, but, like, dude, we hear that joke
Don't come back. Don't come back.
So what's your guys' favorite part about this?
Just owning the business?
I think owning the business is, like, that's the answer right there. I think just being our own bosses and literally every day just being able to do what we feel like we want to do. It's like all this that we have in here, it's like chosen by just us. It's literally the two of us, and this is all chosen by us.
And it's very rewarding, like working for somebody else. You're working so hard and you're still making the same amount of money. Right. At least I was when I worked retail. So I think it's just like I'm motivated to work harder because we're actually feeling the reward.
Yeah.
Ourselves.
Yeah.
What's the dynamic like between you guys?
We've gotten good at splitting up like what we're both good at.
You kind of each have our like roles within it.
Yeah. You can.
Who's the real boss? Who's the boss man? It was her idea after all.
Yeah.
Anything I'm like thinking like, yo, is this good? Is this good? Yeah, we're kind of both like that.
You're like, I'm just a yes man.
Luke is very good with photography, and so he does all of that whole side of things.
The
like
Instagram,
the website, the Instagram, the setting up the website, that was mostly you.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing, but I did it. It's because I had to. It was in like last March when COVID started.
Why do you think people should shop here?
I think people should shop here because they actually want to. If you're actually into this stuff and like what we do and like our prices, then come support us and come take a look through our racks. But if you don't force yourself to be into this, you know, if you want to learn about this stuff, we're happy to answer any questions. The DMs are always open. We're always like happy to educate people or talk to people, but if people want to learn, that's, you know, we're happy to provide that. But I don't want anyone to feel like forced into this, you know?
Come check out Bad Dog, guys. We're here now. Great clothes, great store, great people. Best part about the clothes, they're free.
Yeah. I went the wrong way.
Like, should we chase them?
Now you're running. Did we do a good enough job explaining like kind of how we like started?
Wait, cut the cameras. How was it?